Thank you, everyone, for being here so early in the morning. I mean, we know all that GenAI is not a hype, it's here to stay. Also, we as a law firm had to realize this, and many other companies have understood this. AI tools are rapidly evolving, far behind what we thought was cutting edge just a few years or even a few months ago. And according to experts, this is one of the biggest shifts in our time. But the big question I think everyone has at the moment, when will AI start to meet our expectations for really big change and for innovation? When it will be really driving value? Right now, we observe a noticeable gap. Technology is moving very fast, but business are struggling to keep up and make the most of these developments. So to anticipate this challenge, they must be addressed. And unlocking the full potential of Gen AI requires more than the mere technology. It requires a comprehensive approach between processes, data, people, technology. My name, as I was nicely introduced, is Lena Haffner. I'm the innovation lead for Norton Fulbright and also responsible for the implementation of our EMEA-wide AI program. Norton Fulbright is a global law firm. And let me tell you what. Large language models and legal are the perfect match. Legal is an industry heavily relying on text. And GenAI can assist us in document review, in contract analysis, in drafting briefs, drafting clauses, drafting even in the whole proceeding. And it also simplifying legal research. And our industry is about to undergo a big change. And that's why we really have to be experts in this field. So here's the agenda of what I want to talk to you about in the next few minutes. It's about the early promises and raising expectations. I will show some studies, which is not like the focus on legal, but other industries as well. We will see the key findings from last year, that there is an uneven pace of change. I show some studies what slows GenAI adoption at the moment and why the need for patience is there. But I will also tell you our considerations to overcome these barriers and what we do to do so. So what are the early promises and rising expectations? There are recent studies, and they all say that we've seen remarkable process and the capabilities of foundation models, and notably the models have become smaller, more efficient. But we are on the right, even if we are on the right track, there's just like not enough reliability and trust in AI. What is here, I think, notable as well, that most of the people think that AI will be there for improved efficiency and productivity. And for us as a law firm, this is key. Our whole model relies on billable hours. So what will this do with our business model is the question. But only like 12% saying it's encourage innovation. And I think this is still a small number because there's much more potential. And 10% say it's improving existing products and services. So for us, we have to handle this productivity and efficiency issue, but also we're thinking, of course, what if we generate new revenue streams, like we are building self-service tools for legal departments? Will the future look like this? How are we building due diligence in the future? Because, I mean, this is, and we know for years there were a lot of lawyers sitting in a cellar with physical files, even if they're not physical anymore. This is a lot of time for a due diligence. Can this be done by an AI in the future? So these are the things we have to look at. The key findings from last year were that there really a speed limit exists. So we know that the technology is changing at an incredible speed, but not only us, I think most of the organizations are not moving in the speed of technology, but in the speed of organization. And let me give you one example. So we piloted over the summer 6 different global legal AI tools. and we put a lot of effort in it, and now we implement one big legal AI tool, but we are so slow currently in the market. I see a lot of other tools which we would need to benchmark against and which are even more promising, but we are too slow with the implementation of just one tool, so not being able to benchmark at the moment. And this is really something we have to upcome and even be much more faster. What we experiment as well is that the barriers are changing. There are still considerable barriers for scaling, creating value. And I think over the last year, and I mean, we as a lawyer know this as well, that there are a lot of more concerns regarding regulatory uncertainty, risk management, the right AI governance, and these issues have climbed up on the list. And we see it here as well. From this study, there are a lot of people saying that they are worried about the changing regulations. Now with the AI Act as well, with the AI governance, how do you have to upskill your people? I mean, this is at least a good notice for us as a lawyer, that there is still potential to help our clients. Let me show you the next slides. So this is not the barriers, but what could slow Gen AI adoption in general? There are a range of issues with the greatest potential to slow overall marketplace adoption of Gen AI. And the biggest challenge is 35% say that it's mistakes, error leading to real-world consequences. And this for us as a law firm is a really big thing, because we are not exactly risk averse when it comes to mistakes. So, and also like hallucinations. So this is something we really have to deal with. I mean, we are liable for our end product, no matter who created it. It was an AI or a human. So we really have to make sure that we use AI as a second pair of eye, but that we really carefully read through everything and to be sure that there's no mistake, no hallucination. But then the question is this really saving us time if we have to go through everything again? I think yes, but this is something we have to deal with, and we are not in a place where we can rely on legal AI. And therefore, unfortunately, everyone is telling me it's not working. I expect it to be different. I expected it to be much more better, and we have the feeling that AI lost a little bit of its magic. And I think most of you know this Gartner life cycle of technology, where you have to go through this time of delusionment to be on a plateau of productivity at some point of time. So I think we are behind this big depression where everybody, because they have used ChatGPT once, expected legal AI to answer all the questions now. But that's a funny thing as well, because there's a really good sentence saying everyone expected AI to take their job away, and now they are pissed off that it don't. So I think that's a good comparison there. But now we really try to set, and I come to this point in a minute, but to set expectation management right. So what can Gen AI do at the moment and what it can't, to be sure that people use it right. And that's the last survey now. But I think it's an important one if we see this. We know that 70% of organizations require at least 12 months to overcome challenges like not enough trust, it's not reliable, regulatory challenges, and so on. And they hope that after this time, they hope to achieve their expected return of invest. We know from investment decisions that 76% of organizations plan to maintain their investment in underperforming Gen AI initiatives for about also 12 months. But the question is then, what happens then? Will organizations have the patience and sustained commitment to work through their Gen AI challenges? Or will they cut and run before the investments have a chance to pay off? So what are our considerations to overcome these barriers? Well, I mean, there are 5 big ones. I will go with you through each one. We have to create alignment through the whole organization and also to, especially to like the managing board. We have to manage expectations right. We have to try build bridges to sustained ROI. We have to, really important one, you know, all you know this, we have to prioritize our workforce and prepare them for disruption. And at least we all have to manage an uncertain future. So when it comes to alignment, we think that is key, that we have the back of the core management behind us, that we have a strategic goal alignment which we want to achieve with the support of AI. We try to enhance collaboration between the different departments. We set unified metrics for success. So if we implement a legal AI tool, we have certain metrics measurements. So what is the value? How's the overall sentiment? What's there from the value side? A reduction of write-offs, for example, where we're more efficient, that the clients think that we are really innovative at all. So there are different success metrics we benchmark our tools against. Then there are regular alignment and check-ins. We have like a format called Future Talks where I really get all the big partners, the managing partners together, and we talk about how do we think our law firm will look like in the future, where do we want to be, how do we want to be recognized from our clients in the market. And then we try to communicate clearly, it's a challenge, but we try to communicate clearly to all of our staff, this is like our vision, these are the next steps. Everyone have to undergo a long lifelong learning now, and everybody has to adapt because this will be the future. To run expectation management smoothly, I think this is a challenging one. We really have to be clear about and realistic about time horizons and organizational transformation. So we need really time to test the use cases, to go in the live matters, to have best practice, to show everybody how it works and what it can do. We have to be transparent about the progress, also telling if things are not working out. I think everybody benefits from this kind of clarification and clear messages, and then try to stakeholder engagement by really showing best use cases, what we achieved, why it was really good to have GenAI in a specific matter, and then highlight the need for flexibility, because this is like, as every legal tech and innovation project, we have to be flexible. Maybe we have to set it up from scratch new because things didn't work out, and yeah, we really have to be clear about these points. I think maybe you saw this before, but I think you cannot stress this enough. AI should not drive the strategy. Your business strategy should drive AI implementation. I see, especially legal departments, I have to say, I see a few legal departments which really want to have this fancy AI tool because they saw one demo and then they just want to have it, but they don't know why. So, I mean, and therefore, it's, and we made it clear yesterday as well, I mean, you really have to clarify organizational objectives first, and then maybe AI can help you to reach them, but maybe it's just a process improvement, or we can use very simple tech tools. I mean, the good thing at least is that they are open to technology now with GenAI, but GenAI is not the answer for every issue. And yeah, then identify the pain points, and then we can brainstorm how and if AI could help. And I think that's a really important one because there's a lot of like blind buying at the moment. Establishing a strategy to achieve sustained return of invest. And we spoke yesterday again about silos breaking. For us, I mean, in the future, I'm relatively sure that we will have special agents maybe for each of our departments. But for now, we are working more on general purpose AI to have everyone on board and to fulfill the big use cases first, because before going too much into like silos AI solutions. So we have a Microsoft Copilot, of course, for everyone in the business, just as a general purpose AI, but then also legal AI, Harvey, for example, as a general purpose AI, which can be used by everyone, and where we have a shared matrix and use the centralized governance and encourage employee to really encourage and be able to compare across practice groups before we start with agents to find a really individual solutions. I think we have to make the general thing right at the beginning. Yeah, these are our success measurements. What we think, which is for us as lawyers really important, we measure again time saved, how accurate it was, the quality of the search results, the relevance, the coherence, the completeness, the work required for us to adjust the output, the confidence we have in the AI, the source validity, really important one. There are a lot of hallucinations. You should never rely on sources, and the improved response rate in general. And by this, we hope that we can measure this right. That's prioritize your workforce. We all know how important this is. Few organizations feel prepared for GenAI at the early of this year. There are common barriers, there are resistance also for us. People don't trust them. I hear we are just lawyer, we are not a software firm, and so on. And we have to invest heavily in effective change management and target training. So how do we do this? We have tailored training programs. We have a GenAI pathway. We have tailored training programs which are mandatory for each of our tools. We try to have regular best practice, a lot of lunch and learns. I do a lot of prompting courses, so really try to engage with the people all the time. We have feedback sessions for each of our tools, so people have to go to the feedback sessions, and also fill in a form every week, which use cases they used, what was the time saved. I mean, for us, the time saving, it's a relatively easy one because we have all the time in a system, because people have to build the time like every day and have to put it in the system. And then if we get the times totally used with an AI, we can benchmark it against and try to get the data of what is really our efficiency gains and whatnot. Yeah, we make learning resources available, as I mentioned. And the most important one, lawyers are normally very busy. So, and that they, after like 10 hours, they spend the 11th hour in educating themselves in AI is a little bit unrealistic. So as and I think that's wrong for the future, but now internally, we rely on this hourly like system, really strong. So also the bonus or the promotion, everything depends on how many hours you build in 1 year. That's our system. It has to change, but it's our system how it is right now. So we give the people like a billable equivalent time if they do something in innovation programs or innovation initiatives, or even if they even try out GenAI, they get time for it, which will then count to their individual bonus and their individual promotion. We really did this big pilots over the summer. So people, they had to participate, then they got also the hours for that. We had the guardrails, we had relevant user agreement for everyone. We have a GenAI user policy. They got a specific training, and then they had to test the tools against use cases we found, and had to provide feedback all the time. And they now have to continue to do so. Managing the talent landscape is also for us very important. We have to identify the required competencies, because we all know just the technology leads to nothing. We have to build up a really working support model, and therefore we need the people who are able to do this. So we assessed all of our teams. We have an own GenAI program with different work streams. We have a support model built up. We try to address the skill gap. law firms are moving more and more to multidisciplinary teams, which is really like interesting. We have legal engineers, for example. We have now project manager. We have a digital solutions team. We have an applied tech team. We have technologists in general. So that's really changing our industry a lot. And I also mentioned this, we try to retrain, upskill our people and foster collaborative learning environment. We have to be clear what AI can do and what is the human touch, especially important for us as a lawyer. What can AI do and what not? Where we have to have a look on. Of course, there's a human-centered approach. We are liable for our end product. AI can only help us, and this is the message we at least have at the moment. There are 3 things where we try to shape the mindset for Gen AI readiness. It's really understanding the AI with our training for everyone. We showcase the benefit that you can earn money out of it, or your margin gets higher because we can produce better. And we try to set and communicate the AI vision. What is our AI vision? What tools do we want to implement? What do we try to achieve with our tools? And where do we want to be 2030? This is like the last slide now. I think managing an uncertain future is important for all of us. Gen AI present is filled with great promises, but its future holds many uncertainties. Will investments pay off for the long term? Will bias, hallucinations, misinformation be controlled? Will Gen AI use case lead to more business models and breakthrough innovations, or just optimize our current operations? So we don't know that, and no one can answer these questions at the moment. But one thing is for sure, we know that all this uncertainty surrounding Gen AI is hindering its progress. So I think to act confidently and decisively in this phase of this uncertainty, we all should consider boosting our efforts and capabilities in the areas of trial foresight, market sensing, scenario planning for different things that can happen. And this will hopefully help us all to be more plausible in the future and identify potential blind spots and have a strategy in place. Okay, thanks a lot.